computer.
All right. Go.
It is. All right. Hey, do you ever get annoyed by like when people say, "Oh, you're ordering food on an app"? That's not very economically friendly for you. You ever get those people?
Never.
Really? Dude, I hear it a lot. Like, "Oh, just save money by not ordering out food." It's like,
I
"Fuck you."
mean, you're gonna waste money going out to drive and buying food either way. So you're gonna waste money by driving and buying groceries. So I don't know. What's the harm of like every once in a while just like indulging a
I,
little?
I completely fucking agree. Ah, fuck
Yep.
those people.
Well, yeah, well,
Ah.
whatever.
But all right. So folks, we actually had two options for the opening bit. It was either a mini Indiana Jones 5 review or talking about ordering out. That should tell you about all we think about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Chema, hit the intro. What?
Oh, sorry, that was my review of Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for welcoming us into your headphones. My name is Chema.
And I'm Eddie.
Reviewing Nimona. And this is the rollback. So, Nimona, a new hero, takes shape. A night frame for a tragic crime teams up with a scrappy, shape-shifting teen to prove his innocence. So this is Nimona, the new animated movie, the last movie done by Blue Sky Studios before its dissolution last year. Picked up, it was about to die a horrible death after having like around 75% completion. And then Netflix picked it up from the dark and gave it a new life. This is directed by Tro Quane, Nick Bruno. Stars Chloe Grace Moretz, Riz Ahmed, Eugene Lee Yang, Francis Conroy, a bunch of other colorful characters, and is based on the graphic novel by Indy Stevenson. So I am a fan of Indy Stevenson, if you can believe. I've actually I'm familiar with their work. I read Nimona. I read Lumberjanes, which is another one of their graphic novels. I watched a little bit of She-Ra, Princess of Power, which is the show that they made for Netflix as well. And it's been really cool to see Indy like go from like this web comic book artist to like, you know, exclusively like web-based to like prime time published artist, published writer, and to making like actual like shows and like a real like thing. It's great to see that. It feels like seeing one of our own succeed. So the Indy Stevenson story like goes way beyond. I'm gonna tell you how far it goes. There was a novel that I read a lot in like my first year of college. It's a novel called Fangirl by this author named Rainbow Rowell, who then went on. Yeah, I can hear you. Wait, can you hear me?
No, are you okay? You keep looking like to your left.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna pick this up. Wait.
Setting Radio, Chema is standing. He is getting something. He is returning to the seat. He is wearing a Star Wars shirt.
I am wearing a Star Wars shirt. So I don't have the Nimona graphic novel with me because I lent it to a cousin. But this is Fangirl. This is a novel, and the cover was designed by Stevenson. The characters even look like Nimona characters.
I was gonna say those two in the middle kind of look like the couple, Bowser and what's the other guy's name?
But anyway, these are the main characters, so they kind of look like So Stevenson did the cover, and this is how I first knew Stevenson, because they did the cover for this, and then I read Nimona, and then I read the rest of their work. I'm a big fan of Stevenson, and seeing this movie like get made, and I was there when it was announced, I was there when it was delayed, I was there when it was canceled, and I was there when it was picked up. So finally seeing it realized and coming to life, man, what a great journey! Like the journey to get here was almost as good, was almost as like thrilling and interesting as the actual final product. And I'm so glad to say that Nimona was a fucking blast, man. We have had such a great year for animation. and this just is part of that. Like between this, God, Susume, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Spider-Verse. Like, what a great year for animation. We might get to a point where like my top 10 might be mostly animated films by how we're doing.
That's
Because
insane.
I had so much fun with this, and I'm so glad that it's on Netflix, so like everyone can get a piece of it. And it was dropped on the last day of Pride Month, which I think is very, very very unpurposefully. So yeah, so that's
Why won't they
Nimona.
drop it at the beginning of Pride Month? Wouldn't that capitalize on like the pride, on like the hype?
I mean, maybe they wanted to go out with a bang, maybe.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so that's my initial thoughts on Nimona. What did you think of it? Were you familiar with the graphic novel? Were you familiar with any of it?
Zero. So I was gonna say this going in. Like, folks, I knew nothing about Nimona going in. I knew nothing. I hadn't seen anything. I was genuinely green as fuck going into this. And I don't say that in a bad way. I say that in an honest way. So that said, going into this, I I originally was like, is this going to be a chore movie or is this going to be a oh wow I'm actually enjoying myself, and I'm delighted to announce I really fucking enjoyed myself. This movie had no right being as fun, as quirky, as I said
Energetic,
it has
right?
attitude.
Yeah,
And I say this in the most complimentary way I can say this. This might be the best adult oriented animated film since like Shrek 2. Like the jokes are hilarious, but it's like obviously the movie is really pretty, so kids can watch it. The
yeah,
story is really great, so I like it instinctively. But also like it's actually funny. There are parts where I actually laughed. I had to rewind and rewatch it so I could laugh again.
yeah,
Like, and that's impressive because making a joke is easy. Making people laugh from that joke in a movie, it's actually pretty good.
yeah.
So no, overall, like first impression of this film, great film. We'll dive more into it, obviously, but great movie.
Question: would
Yes.
you have checked this out if I hadn't recommended it?
No, I never even heard of it.
Okay.
Like legit, never heard of Nimona. Never heard. I know the actors involved in this, from Chloe Moretz to Riz Ahmed to Eugene from the Try Guys. Like I know
Oh
them.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's Try Guy. It's Try Guys, Eugene.
Yeah. So I mean, I know
Yeah.
the actors involved. I straight up, I wouldn't have seen it if you hadn't told me about it.
Yeah. The villain, the director,
Mhm.
she's voiced by Frances Conroy, who played the mom in Joker. Um,
Oh God,
yeah, right?
that explains absolutely everything.
Yeah, so we have this story about this knight. So there's this kingdom which is like both futuristic and kind of old school. Like it's both like a knight medieval times, but they have like future, they have screens and phones and other things. They kind of mesh those two things together. It's kind of like the same thing they did with that show Arcane, also on Netflix, also animated. They really like let you sip into the world, and I think this one is a little bit more simple than the one in Arcane, but still very much an attractive one. This was more colorful. There's a lot of colors in it, and the animation is very flowy. It's borderless. It's very cel shaded. I like how animation is going through this like almost renaissance thing. Like it's kind of like doing itself again in order to come up with something new. And this is the right way to tell this story, because it makes the character just pop. So it's a story about this like kingdom. There are these knights, and usually all the knights are just from the same family. And then this guy, Ballister Boldheart, which is a fucking great name for a knight,
I agree.
voiced by Riz Ahmed. He's gonna be the first knight to come outside of the family. So like the first like outsider to join these ranks.
Well, first Commonwealth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, also.
Like they're all of noble birth, which that's to know. Even in a futuristic world, only the rich people get to have the cool jobs.
Yeah. And I like how they paint us this thing of like the knights in this world are considered like celebrities or like sport or like sports stars or something. Like they're in billboards, they're celebrated everywhere they go. And he wants that, but you can tell that he wants more than that. He knows that he's good at what he does, and he wants to succeed. And he gets seen by the Queen Valoran, who gives him a chance, sees the good in him and gives him a chance. And in a way that I think is going to blow the minds of everyone that sees it, the way that they set up this thing of like she gives him the sword and the sword opens up and shoots her right through the heart. I remember when I first read that in the graphic novel, like how it hit me. I cannot imagine seeing that for the first time and being like, "Holy shit!"
No, it's the same. So when I saw it, I was like, "Motherfucker, they're framing him." Of course, the one commoner, it turns out to be a murderer. Of course, of fucking course.
Yeah. So there's that, and he gets casted out. He escapes, and also he's in a relationship with another knight named Ambrosius Golden Lion, which again, gotta fucking love these names. And
that's a beastly name, man.
Yeah, and he's voiced by Trigas Eugene. So he's there. I've seen him in a couple of things besides Try Guys. He was in like an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think I've seen him in other things.
Yeah, they kind of they didn't bitch him out. That's the right word, but they managed to trick him. It was funny.
What, he didn't know that he was gonna be in Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No, he plays like a guy who's not letting people in, and they fake being celebrities so that and like bully him into letting them in.
Oh yeah.
You had to watch the episode. It worked.
Yeah. I remember that episode. So he's there. So they're in a relationship, and then he becomes a knight, and then he gets framed. And as of that point, everyone is a suspect. You know, it could have been anyone. But he escapes, he hides, and then in his hiding, a young girl comes to visit him by the name of Nimona, who's voiced by Chloe Grace Moretz. And this character, what a fucking blast this character is.
Yeah. I like her. She's very... Well, first off, they are very great. She's if I'm not mistaken, non-gendered, non-binary. Am I correct?
Presents as female, so we can use female
pronouns.
Female pronouns, yeah.
Gotcha. So she's very like energetic, quippy, fun, and it's crazy because in most instances you would think, oh, like she's the bad guy or whatever, and obviously how they present her, but she's like looking for a friend. Like, all right, boss, what's the plan? You just killed the queen, so that makes you like the biggest, like, bad guy on the planet. So what are we gonna do? And I just like that. I like that the attitude is like, I'm your sidekick. You're stuck with me. Let's do this.
Yeah. And I like, they have such a good, and of course we've seen this relationship before. We just saw it this year with The Last of Us. Like, this is not a new thing. But she is so insane and chaotic.
But fun.
They make it so fun. Like, if that was my kid, I would be embarrassed. But she's not my kid, so we're good. Like, it's kind of like, have you seen Bob's Burgers?
I know of the show.
Okay, so the great thing about that show is just the family like dynamic, and like the kids are so chaotic and so weird, but kids are chaotic and weird, so it kind of makes sense that they act like that. And yeah, this is exactly how like kids tend to act. So it's pretty funny that like you give a kid, it's like giving a kid like a soda and then shaking them and then throwing them into the wild, like. And then to add boot to that, like she can transform into like different animals and people. So. Yeah, pretty fun.
She's fun, man. But this movie, so what is this? So Bowser's about to get crowned. He's about to get knighted. The queen dies. They all think it's him. He's on the run. Does he loses his arm right at the beginning, right?
Yeah, in the explosion.
Yeah, and then no, doesn't the guy cut it off?
When he with the sword, like they kind of deflect and cut his arm,
which is like 50 shades of fucked up. But yeah, he loses his arm. But luckily, they're living in a post Full Metal Alchemist world, so he just makes an automail arm. Gets captured, and then we meet Nimona, who breaks him out and is dead set on being his sidekick. And just from the fucking get-go, her attitude is fun. All right, who are we gonna kill? Oh, who is this? Who's this? And it's just like, we're not killing anyone. It's like, fine, maim, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, just stuff like that is so chaotically, energetically fun.
And I like how they have these scenes where they're trying to escape. He's trying to be as quiet as possible, and then she's just like making all the noise that she can, just like pushing stuff, kicking stuff, like making us just as he's trying to like keep it like calm. She just does not give him a chance. It's so funny, man. Like it was so funny to see how just visually they did that. Yeah.
Did you notice in the background when they're running past she throws stuff at the knights on the other side of the courtyard, and she knocked two of them out?
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I had
God,
to like rewind because that action scene was pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. A lot of the scenes in this movie are fun, though. A lot of them. Even the scene where like they're working, I think it's after they find out that the director is the actual bad guy, and they have to fight a bunch of knights in the courtyard. I don't remember that. It's the part where she's like, "Fine, I'll go whale," or like she turns into like a dragon and stuff during that scene.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, like, tell me that scene isn't sad. When she turns into a dragon to get people off her, she's firing like cereal bombs at people. She saves a kid from getting murdered, and the kid is scared of her and runs away. I understand, but fuck that kid. I would have been like, oh, we're best friends now.
Yeah, but that helped fueled the whole thing, which is that she feels alienated because she's the only one that can do that. And I like how the movie doesn't go back and be like, so this is what happened to her, like this is how she got those powers. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. She's just like that. And I like how they see how she has that complex of, since she was a kid, being ostracized, being rejected. When we get to the plot twist that like it was their director who rejected her as children, that cuts deep and it makes everything connect back. I think it was written really beautifully.
Wait, was it the director or was it the one who founded the city? No,
I'm pretty sure it was the director.
No, because remember, she's 1,000 years old. Remember the monster that they said that so the founder had battled a monster when she was younger. That's why she founded the city, and she was the great protector. Supposedly, that great monster, according to this film, was Nimona.
Gloreth. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. Gloreth, the founder. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, but we get to that, and that all connects. So like this city has been raised on like this belief that the big monster's coming when we don't even fucking know like what we're dealing with. And she Nimona has an attitude, and we see where it's coming, you know?
Yeah. Nope. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. But yeah, the director, how do I say this? Would it be right to say, I don't know if it's right to call her racist or speciesist, because it's like, or not, classist? I think classist might be the better word.
Classist, afraid of what they don't understand, xenophobic.
Because, like, is it like, oh, the commoner, how can we trust him? And he just happens to be the perfect one that can kill the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So we get to that point, and I like how throughout the movie, because the movie's not long, it's 99 minutes, so it's like barely like an hour 30. It's perfect bite-sized movie. The animation is very pretty. I like how the characters kind of all share like these color palettes. Like of course the soldiers are very like silvery and gold. We see a Vallister wearing like the dark armor, so it's a little black. But then Nimona is like this pink creature, and I like how every time that she turns into something, she stays pink, and like it makes the character pop, because the movie mostly takes place during the daytime. So having a lot of color pop really helps with that.
I agree. The art style in this film isn't usual. I can't remember seeing it before, but I just enjoyed the art style all the way through. Like the way it looked, it was just very. Remind me of Ruby. from Screw Attack, but
Yeah,
way more polished.
yeah, and more round. Like very like even though Ruby is like also a cartoon, like this feels very more cartoony. Um, but yeah, and also I want to like talk about like so at the end. I know I'm jumping to the end, but like so we see this big conspiracy of like what is happening, who's to blame, and then we find out that it is the director. And I like how they could have very easily just like finished the movie with like them blaming the director, recording it, and having it and using it. But I like how they give like a second twist, like the director comes out and be like, "Oh, that wasn't me. That was Nimona. She can transform. You saw it." And like it goes back and forth between like a court of public opinion. Like, yeah.
Well, I love how no one has the critical thinking skills of like, but wait a second, she only transforms into pink things.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, she did transform into Ambrosius, but you know,
That's fair. I
didn't
forgot about
notice.
that.
Yeah.
Hey,
But yeah, yeah.
one. What was I gonna say? Oh, did I tell you I got a new dog?
Another dog?
Yep. There's now three.
Awesome. Awesome.
Her
What are
name
they
is
called?
Winnie, like Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie like Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh
Love
yeah.
it.
All right. Now we were talking about court of public opinion or the
Yeah.
animation style.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Nimona, dude, this movie came from out of nowhere, and you can tell like the care and thought that went into making this film. Because it could have been a very by the numbers, good guy, bad guy, fish out of water, team up movie, but it has that oomph in it. And it's not just the comedy, it's the story, it's the way it's written, the way it's presented. There's a heartbreaking scene, and I'll compare it. Remember how in Toy Story 2, the saddest scene in the movie was Jessie when she was singing "When
When
Somebody Loved
somebody
Me."
loved me.
Yeah,
Of course.
and like famously, that made Tom Hanks and Tim Allen cry.
Yeah.
In this film, the scene that kind of got me, obviously it's not as long, but it's still like, you're in my heart. When you see Nimona throughout the ages trying to bond with people and she just keeps getting rejected. And it's not once, it's several times over the course of over the course of 1,000 years. And I assume she tried more than once a year, man. You
Yeah.
know, she tries to bond with deer, she tries to bond with other animals, with other creatures, with humans, but she keeps being rejected. And I just props to Nimona for not becoming the ultimate supervillain because that would justify it. Like, you people fucking hated me for 1,000 years. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
Yeah. And she does want revenge, but like I think she just wanted to have fun. Like she's a little girl, you know? And there's a moment at the end where she kind of finally explodes. She becomes this huge, big monster that is slowly chasing into the city. Very, very Godzilla coded. That whole scene was.
Yeah.
Yeah, with her kind of approaching the city and kind of fulfilling that original prophecy. Well, the knights are trying to attack her. I like how we have like a moment. It reminded me very much of the Iron Giant, of like when he's attacking the city and like there's someone from the government who's like we gotta point a big ass laser towards them, and fucking wreck or put our whole city in risk.
Yeah. Fuck the civilians.
Yeah. But I like how it gets stopped. I like how we get to a point where they make it work. And I like the moment where Ballister like stops her. Like he doesn't stop her by attacking her. He stops her by like just like standing in front of her and like appealing to her humanness, I guess.
Remind me, she's about to like land on the sword, right?
Yeah.
Like just impale herself.
Yeah.
And like, I wonder if they did it with a monster because they couldn't show a kid doing it. But like, yeah, she's about to end it all. Like she's about to be like, fuck it. Like, I don't know what's worse. When they fight me with their swords or the fact that sometimes I want them to kill me and win.
Mm-hmm.
Which is heartbreaking. And I applaud them for talking about such a, I don't say hard subject, but such an honest subject that should be talked about, even with kids, because everyone gets sad. Everyone feels pain in their hearts, no matter your age. So to have the ability to show a meeting, kind of like Inside Out, where hey, what are you feeling, or hey, do you feel like this? To talk, communicate with young people is important, and this movie is important. It's not just for the mental health aspect of it. I'd argue, I'd say for the representation. Like, and I saw an article after I watched it. I was really like, dude, I need to see more of this. I was
Yeah.
looking up articles on the movie and stuff, and I think it was the Rolling Stone that said Nimona is proudly queer, and that's a good thing
Yeah.
because like kids need to be able to see themselves, even if you're not queer, it's a fun movie. If you are, hey, there's a movie that's made for you with
Yeah.
heroes that you can look up to.
Yeah, and I think that's it's very interesting because reading the graphic novel and then seeing the movie, like Indy Stevenson, the person who wrote it and drew it and everything, they're a transgender person, and I think it's very, very clear watching this. I mean, it's about a person who constantly changes form, feels ostracized, and feels like the world just doesn't understand them. It's very much the queer experience. And the movie is doing that by doing more than just saying like, oh yes, my boyfriend this, or like, hey, my girlfriend that. Like, no, it goes beyond that. It's visually and story-wise very much involved in that subject. And it's not a thing that you can censor or a thing that you can like take out because it's vital part of the story.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This movie, I wish it could have had a bigger release, but the fact that it's on Netflix, I hope they make it a tentpole property, the same way they treated Stranger Things. I hope they treat Nimona like, hey, we can make a franchise around this. Because I assume there's more stories, right, than just this one.
It's just this one.
Well, shit, get to writing, motherfucker. Get to writing. We got a franchise to make. We have products to distribute. We have merchandise to start selling.
I'd buy merch of this. I think it's quite merchable.
Well, okay. Can I get into the business aspect of Netflix for a moment?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to present this as a win for Netflix. So Netflix, one of the reasons why they're raising prices or cracking down on password sharing is because they're not as profitable. Because like Disney, they're masters at not just making shit, but marketing it. Because you didn't just love Baby Yoda, right? You bought the plushie, you bought the shirt,
I
you
did.
bought the
I
Lego
did.
set.
Yeah.
Exactly. You bought the hat.
I'm literally wearing Baby Yoda socks right now.
There you go. So Disney, when they invest $1 billion into Star Wars per year, you know how much they're getting back? $7 billion in merchandise, probably more in merchandise sales, because they're like, no, fuck yeah, we're making shits on the money. Yeah, here's $1 billion, we get back 8. Netflix has a problem because they don't really have properties that they own that they sell in that capacity. Stranger Things is maybe the exception to the rule. But other than that, when have you ever seen a Black Mirror shirt at Target? When have you ever bought a Lego set of House of Cards? That's a troublesome one. But you get what I'm saying, right?
Now all I can think about is like a Lego set of like that scene where the guy dies in the hot tub. Like that's
I would buy that Lego set. I bet you exists. If I go on eBay, I bet you I can find it. But the point being is Nimona can be like that tentpole of like, they could merch the shit out of this. I would buy the pops. I would wear a Nimona shirt. Like, it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Make this a bigger story and market it the fuck out of it. Yo.
Question. You have like nephews and nieces and like you have kids in your life. I don't really.
Yeah.
Do you think there's like would you show them this movie? Like,
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Be real with you for a second.
Not yet.
I tried showing my family this on Sunday.
Yeah.
No, yesterday, 4th of July. It was yesterday. I tried showing them this, and we were all too busy chatting at the dinner table for anyone to really notice.
Oh, okay. I mean, it was 4th of July, so yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that at some point, I told my niece about this, who is transgendered, so I'm hoping she'll watch it and maybe like it. The twins really like action and like murder, so hopefully they'll think it's funny too.
Yeah. I think I just want this movie. Look, the fact that the movie got made is a miracle. Okay, the fact that it's out and so widely available is a fucking
and critically
miracle.
acclaimed.
and critically acclaimed. I mean, yeah, because it received pretty good critical response. Indie is they are a rock star right now. Okay,
Yeah.
because Shira was a fucking hit. Um, Lumberjanes also worked. Lumberjanes is going to become an animated show on HBO Max. Uh,
Lumberjanes?
Lumberjanes is another like comic that Stevenson did.
What's it about though?
It's about like camp counselors
Oh,
in
that could be
a summer
fun.
camp. Yeah,
Ooh, is there a horror aspect or are they just like normal people?
it's a slice of life thing.
Ah, I wanted murder. Fine.
It's fun. Also, Stevenson did a partner with DC and wrote a Wonder Woman story.
You don't say. Which one?
It's called Wonder World. Came out in 2015.
Wonder World?
Yeah, just look up Wonder World Andy Stevenson. You'll find it.
Wonder World
Yeah.
2015. All right, now I got it. Now I need to read this.
Yeah. But yeah, Stevenson has been involved in like a lot of stories and a lot of like. When I say that I like that we're getting a lot of animation now, a lot of good animation, Stevenson is definitely a voice that I want there. I want them at the forefront. I want their stories to continue to be told. And most importantly, I want Stevenson employed. I want checks coming in for them. Okay. And I want more because I love their art style and I love their characters. So why not? You know, I'll take whatever I can get. And also like Blue Sky Studio, RIP, man. RIP to Blue Sky Studio. Like
Did they even what movies did they work on?
They did all the Ice Age movies.
Oh, I remember. Didn't someone put it together where the little muskrat or rat or what's his name? Scrat finally got his nut.
Yeah, because Blue Sky Studios got so they were property of Fox, and when Disney bought Fox, they were like, we don't need this. So they closed out Blue Sky. But yeah, they did Ice Age, they did Robots, they did Rio, they did the Peanuts movie, they did Spice in Disguise was like one of their last movies. Yeah, so they had some hits, they had some misses, but this was gonna be like their next big thing, and then they had like 75% of the movie done, and then that's when the merger happened and Disney kind of killed off the project, and then Annapurna and Netflix came in and brought it back to life. So like I said, it's already a miracle this movie exists, but is it too much to ask for more? I don't think so. I do want more.
What's it called? I remember I read something, and we can argue about the validity of this, but it's possible. So I'll fucking mention it.
Yeah.
People who worked on the film said that they got pushed back from Disney due to the kissing scene where they kiss, and some pushback that wasn't family friendly. To whoever the higher up, I doubt you will ever hear this, but if someday we blow up and people go back to their old podcast episodes and find this comment, I want you to know, to the higher up of Disney who said that, go fuck yourself. From the bottom of my heart, I want you to go fuck yourself, because you represent a company as being progressive, and then this is important. Like, this is like, people can hark, well, why do we need to have this kind of stuff in front of the kids? Because there are kids that are queer, there are kids that are gay, there are kids that are straight, but this is something that's fun that can be watched by anybody. The whole argument of like, well, if they see something gay, it's going to turn them gay. Pretty sure there were kids that grew up that were born gay, that grew up to be gay and stuff, that watched straight cartoons. Don't think it harmed them, man. Like, this is genuinely a great film to show any kid, because at worst, it talks about inclusivity. At best, it gives you someone to look at and say, I see me. And that's a good thing.
You know? Yeah, no, I agree. And look, Disney has been criticized a lot for doing very, very like performance activism. Like, they keep patting themselves on the back by saying, We have the first gay. It's like the 7th time they've said we've included the first gay character, and it's just a character in the background who's like, it's just a guy in the background saying, "My boyfriend thinks this likes this shirt too." Like that's all they do, and I fucking hate it. Like commit to the bit. This movie commits to the bit.
Well,
Okay?
even Elemental at one point, which I want to be very clear, I really did enjoy Elemental. But even then, like the non-binary character was just like the sister that was in there for like legit 30 seconds, maybe
Less. Yeah.
less than. I think they had a line.
Yeah. Yeah. So nothing. This is something. And also, like I saw. Do you know Gravity Falls?
I know of Gravity Falls. I've never seen it, but I know of it.
Okay, so Gravity Falls, the creator, his name is Alex Hirsch, also an animation new legend, I think. Also an animation rockstar, I would call him. So he did Gravity Falls, and Gravity Falls is known for being kind of dark and kind of like strong, and even for kids, like it's good, but I think a lot of jokes are also for adults. Well, they have this ongoing joke with like there's these two cops, these two sheriffs, and they're clearly very much gay for each other. But they have these jokes where like they might be in the car and like a monster will pass by and one of them would get scared and he'll be like, "Oh, it's a miracle that we're alive," and then the other couple will be like, "With you every day, it's a miracle." Like there's scenes like that. And after Gravity Falls ended, Alex Hirsch released like this videos of like the notes that Disney sent him because he's like, I'm not on their payroll anymore. Fuck it. So he started to release like a bunch of things of like Disney telling him like, "Hey, could you tune it down with these two? Because like kids are watching." And he's like, "These are the characters. That's what they are. Fuck you."
Good.
And anyway, he kept doing that. And then Disney released like this huge banner of like, "Oh, for Pride Month," and released like a bunch of characters. And they put like the Gravity Falls characters in there, not the cops, but like they put like some other characters. And
Yeah.
Alex Hirsch was like, "Motherfuckers, like you told me to not make them gay, and then you're like using my characters to celebrate like gay, like fuck you." Yeah. So yeah, I sense a lot of performance activism from Disney. Now, Disney has done a lot of things I like. I can feel both ways, okay? But do I think that them letting this go, huge mistake. Like they must be kicking themselves right now. Seeing that a movie this is doing good, it's being celebrated, and it's being a hit. I just hope that the movie doesn't lose its legs.
I doubt it. I think because look, here's the thing, man. I'd argue that this film wasn't very well known. I think this is one of those rare movies where the reviews and the positive word of mouth is going to help it get more viewers in its second week than its first. Like, I genuinely think it'll be on an upward trajectory. I hope so.
Yeah, because right now I feel like it's very much for the people who are gonna search it up. Like people like me who are fans of Stevenson are gonna look the movie up. They're excited for it.
Yeah.
But for example, and I'm not calling you out, but like you didn't know that about this movie. Like I had to tell you.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So I'm hoping word of mouth helps the movie survive. Because again, the fact that it got made, it's a fucking miracle.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've recommended it to some coworkers also. I'm really hoping more people watch it because fuck, it's good. It's one of those movies. Hopefully it can capture the audience that didn't watch Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that would be me. What would you rate it?
Nimona or Indiana Jones?
Nimona.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Nimona, solid A. Yeah, it's an A, not even an A minus. It's an A. It's great.
Oh, it's same. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's super approachable, super accessible. The animation is super fun. The characters super memorable. The names are awesome. Yeah. I think if you watch this and then and you're like, oh, I want to see like maybe like a darker version of this, then you can go ahead and watch Arcane, But I think it's a good introduction to like steampunk or like just
is this steampunk? It's like medieval punk. I like it, but it's like medieval punk.
It's like medieval punk, yeah.
I like it though.
Yeah, it's cool. If you like this, you should check out Arcane. I think it's pretty good.
Is that's the one that has characters from League of Legends, right?
Yeah, but you don't have to know anything about League of Legends to watch it.
All right, I'm done. I'll watch it.
I'm telling you this as a person who hates League of Legends. Fuck, the lore's good, and fuck the yeah. No, trust me, you're gonna watch Arcane, and like it has no business being that amazing.
Fair. All right, I trust you.
Yeah. I mean, have I ever recommended something you didn't like? I mean,
Spirited Away was fine.
you don't. Okay,
I'm
you always
just
say
kidding.
that one.
I'm just
Okay,
kidding. I'm just
all
kidding.
right, yeah. Again,
Oh,
okay. Also, the intro from Arcane is done by Imagine Dragons.
oh, the song.
Yeah, so pretty
I
weird.
liked it. I liked the whole thing.
Yeah. All right. So Nimona, we're gonna mark it as a highly recommend. Glad that it's on streaming. Glad that everyone can watch it. Hell, I'm kind of rooting for like a kid just seeing like, oh, it's a cartoon. Let me watch it, and just like gets their mind blown. Like have no idea what they're coming into. Because I think that's the best way to approach it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's super fun. Also, I love that the movie ends with like him seeing like Nimona reborn and then being like, holy shit, just like
Yeah.
a cutoff.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's why I'm
It's like
convinced there's going to be a sequel because it feels like it ends on like the adventure continues kind of thing. I don't
yeah.
know. I hope so.
I mean, maybe we'll see. Either way, yeah, this is definitely one to watch in a summer that is chock full of things to watch. Make time to watch this one. I think people will enjoy it.
I think this is one of those ones that's worth it, honestly. And the thing is, it's on
Definitely.
Netflix. You don't have to bust out $50 to go to the movies with your partner. Like, just fucking just pop on Netflix. Do your
Yeah,
password sharing.
it's there.
Use
No
your
one's gonna
Vaponi.
blame. Yeah. All right. So that's Nimona. Next week, what are we doing next week?
I think we have two options. We only really have two options: either
Yeah.
Joyride or Insidious. Those are the two that open this Friday.
Oh.
Because I can tell you right now, I am not fucking reviewing Teenage Kraken. I'm sorry. No.
Oh no. I was thinking of another one.
What?
Mission Impossible, baby.
It doesn't open until next week.
Really? It's coming out this week here.
In Mexico?
Yeah.
Well, fuck you. It comes out July 12th over here.
Shit.
Uh,
Wait. Oh no, shit, you're right. Why did I
yeah.
thought it was this weekend?
Yeah. All right. So do you want to get scary or do you want to get funny? Up to you. I'm down with either
I've
or.
I've only seen the first Insidious and I was falling asleep throughout it, so I don't know if it's I don't know if I'll be able to catch up by the time the new one comes out. Dude, I mean, oh God, because will I not get it if I don't watch the other like what 4 or 5?
I've seen only the first one and the fourth one. I've never seen the second or the third. They never
Jesus.
interested in me.
Worst case scenario, we do Indiana Jones, you know.
Oh God. Okay. All right, folks.
Yeah.
Disregard all the negative things that we said earlier. We'll see all that next week.
Yeah. Okay. And then the week after that, I guess it's Mission Impossible. The week after that, Barbenheimer, baby.
I thought we were going to be doing Barbie.
Barbenheimer.
Oh, Barbie. Oh God. Oh God. That's right. We're doing a double feature for that, aren't we?
Barbenheimer.
Oh fuck me, man. I'm gonna have to do a double showing that day.
Barbenheimer. You wake up, coffee, Oppenheimer because it's 3 hours, then
Lunch.
then lunch, then shots, then Barbie, then club all night. That's the plan.
Oh God. What if Barbie is like really this deep introspective of like what it means to be a person? Or
It's
what it
going
means?
to. It's going to.
God.
It's
I
going to. That's what Greta's been giving us. That's what Greta's gonna give us.
What if Barbie sucks?
If Barbie sucks, I will kill myself live on the show.
Oh God, no. I can only get there so fast.
Jesus. No. Barbie won't suck. I don't think. I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Did you see the other two movies that she did?
No. What are they?
Lady Bird, and Little Women.
I no, I haven't seen either of them. But I
Do
know for a
yourself.
fact both of those are like critically acclaimed.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're amazing. So yeah, no complaints. I'm very excited. Greta sweep.
All right, fuck it. I trust you. I trust her. Let's get Barbie done. I wonder how
All
different it
right.
would have been if they had kept Amy Schumer.
Do you want to hear something sad?
Uh yeah.
So Amy Schumer left the project because she creative differences, and then Anne Hathaway came in to play Barbie, and then she left and Margot Robbie came in.
Why did Anne Hathaway leave?
Creative differences. I think Greta was not attached by that point.
Oh, okay. So maybe if Greta had been on, they would have. Well, because dude, it's such a weird movie to make. Like,
Yeah.
is the adventure about Barbie? Is it her in the real world? Is it introspective, extra? Like,
Yeah.
that's why I remember telling you guys when the trailer first came out. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
watching.
I think those are the best kind of trailers because it's like it's good. I want to come in knowing nothing, really.
No, I want
Yeah.
to have an idea of what the fuck I'm gonna watch. If I'm gonna pay you $20 for a ticket.
Not with look. If I told you, hey, new Christopher Nolan movie, would you ask me what's it about? No, you'll be like,
No,
oh,
yes,
man.
I would. I'd be like, all right, about what? Because Tenet was pretty fucking rocky.
Tenet was pretty fucking rocky.
Yeah.
So you don't have like a filmmaker that you're like, whatever you do, I'm in.
No, but I have a character that whatever he does, I'm in.
John Wick.
Yeah. Okay, I have two characters now.
Okay, what's the other one?
The Batman. Come on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, if you're saying originality, is there any actor? I'm not that attached to anyone. Actually,
Okay.
now I'm thinking like there's Tom Hanks movies I've never seen. There's Will Smith movies I've never seen.
Do you want to hear
There's
something? You know, when you mentioned the thing about Tom Hanks and Tim Allen crying on Toy Story, you know what I heard recently?
what?
Remember the Jungle Cruise movie with The Rock?
Yeah.
Originally, it was supposed to be Tom Hanks and Tim Allen like together, like the two of them were supposed to be like the captains of the ship.
Oh, that would have been amazing. I would have shat myself with excitement.
Like it would have been pretty funny.
It would have been comedy gold.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you know this, but like the whole thing that makes Toy Story pretty special is that usually when voice actors like record their lines, it's just them by themselves. But Toy Story is like one of the few where they did it together. So in the same booth, the two of them.
I remember seeing video footage of Tom
Yeah.
Hanks yelling at Tim Allen like, "You had to come in here playing spaceman," and like when he's like wetting his lips because like he's been yelling at him so much, and Tim Allen's just like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. Fun fact, that's what they're doing with the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Like it's these four teenagers doing the voice of the turtles, and they're all together in the booth.
Oh,
So
that must be fun.
you just know that it's gonna be so fun. Like that's because they're gonna be so chaotic. I cannot. That's another one I'm really looking forward to this summer.
Oh, real quick, to anyone bitching that April O'Neil is now black, she was black in the last show, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So stop
Right.
bitching. Hashtag not my April O'Neil. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck yourself.
I think that's a good way to end today.
What happened to Biscuit?
I don't know. I need to find out now.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. My name is Chema.
I've been Eddie.
And this was the rollback, signing off with a reminder to watch out for your dogs.
I didn't hear any yelling. They'll be fine. We're gonna find out, aren't we? Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.